I no, but that's what I'm saying.
You have to get them all out here and shit.
They're
I get what you're saying,
Here, they're on lockdown.
Oh yeah, the National Guard.
Yeah, we don't really have a true concept.
You know where it came from? The virus came from.
It's a work in progress.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Program.
I didn't even let me know that was the name, damn. You the worst, man.
I mean, but we're the forefront of it. We're like the faces of that.
We're the worst guys.
Oh, I have a weird hot take. So Dennis Rodman had a comment about LeBron. I don't know if you've seen it or heard about it.
I haven't heard it. What's going on with Dennis Rodman?
Dennis Rodman was just shitting on LeBron and saying that he could never play basketball in the 80s or the 90s.
Shut the fuck up, Dennis.
And that, and on top of that, he tried to say that if LeBron even played in the 90s, Scottie Pippen is the second best player no matter what.
Shut the fuck up.
And Michael
Dennis.
being the first.
All right, Scottie Pippen was a great player, but the fact of the matter is, LeBron is physically, he wouldn't be the same player. He'd be something closer to like, he would be like Karl Malone and Scottie Pippen in the same at once. That's what he's physically built like, and that's how he kind of plays. Is this was like Scottie Pippen was like really a point forward, right? So he's at least a top 3 to 5 player in the 90s. I'm not gonna put over LeBron over Jordan in the 90s. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna be cool because I don't want to start a riot. And Dennis Rodman has forgotten more basketball than I'll ever know. I understand that. He's a Hall of Fame player. But shut the fuck up, Dennis. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly. He's like, he's not scoring on anybody. I'm shutting him down. I'm like, are you fucking
Dennis
kidding
Rodman,
me?
you are a great defender. That's correct. You would probably give LeBron some fits defensively. Yes, you would. But no. Like, nigga, no.
I don't know why LeBron gets so much
I don't
hate,
get
man.
it.
Like,
because like in a more physical game, LeBron, who is a physical marvel, this sounds sus. I'm sorry. LeBron is built as shit. I don't think he gets punched in the face in the game as it is already. Now you're making that legal for him.
I mean, to be fair, LeBron flops a lot too. Did you see that shit when he was playing the Grizzlies, like one of the last games of the season? He this dude swatted at the ball and LeBron just went down. He just like took a dive and shit.
I get it.
It was fucking hilarious. But that's a part of the game now. I mean, like, people try to make that a complaint. Like
the soccer influence in the game and the European influence in the game. It wasn't as much in the 90s, but like, you still had Tony Kukoc and stuff like that, but it's different. Like and Karl Malone flopped too. Shut up. That's why the Karl Malone comparison is like so fair for LeBron. Physically, they're the same big ass motherfucker who's gonna flop a little bit. It's cool. It's cool.
Yep.
Like LeBron would have been fine in the 90s, nigga. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, Dennis. LeBron is still a Hall of Fame player in the 90s. At the very least, Hall of Fame player.
I can't remember. Did Karl Malone ever win a ring?
Nope. He didn't win a ring with the Lakers or with the on that super team of the Lakers or with the Jazz. He was known for, But he went to that super team of the Lakers, then they fucking imploded because there was just too many egos.
Wait, when was it? Wait, I gotta look that up. When was the last year he played on the Lakers? Because if people always want to make that joke about LeBron, he went to the Heat because he was crying about not beating the Celtics, and I was like, the Celtics were stacked, but it wasn't about complaining. Like, players can't go to other teams and shit.
That's what free agency's for. He actually played his last season with the Lakers. He only played 1 year, and he wasn't the same. Apparently. Played 21 games? No, that's the playoffs. Yeah, he only played half the year. 2000,
What year is it?
2004 season.
Okay. Yeah, no, the Lakers were still good then.
Who was on that team?
Yeah, that was.
It was a lot of names.
Shaq was still on that team, right?
Um,
He left like 04. Shaq left in 04, I think. And I remember that was like the biggest news ever. Like Shaq went to Miami, and I was like, what? It was weird too, honestly.
the 03-04 season had number 8 Kobe, Shaq, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, Horace Grant, Gary Payton, and
Wow,
Luke Walton. Wow, Luke Walton. Okay.
that's a stacked up team.
And they lost. Think about that. I guess if I understand how that probably didn't work out, because imagine being Karl Malone playing next to Shaq. It doesn't make sense.
Karl Malone was much
True.
older, and Shaq was a dickhead.
That was his last year in the league. He was not the same Karl.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Shaq is a dick, so
Shaq's probably a dick to play with, actually. Yeah.
oh my god, bro, did you see episode 2? With the Shaq jiffy that I had, he was like dunking on some nigga from the Knicks, and he just shoved him after he poster dunked him, and he just shoved him. That's such a dick move. I'm about to put that shit back on.
That's Shaq.
Oh my god.
Shaq was eating too. 21 and 12. 22 and 12.
21 and 12.
Yeah, 21 and 12. And, well, 22 and 12, actually, if I'm going to be fair and round up, about the same way. And 3 blocks that year. In other words, Shaq wasn't the problem with that team.
Yeah.
Give him it wasn't my fault season.
Probably.
So,
Shaq, I feel for him.
was young Kobe the problem? I'm looking, because, like,
Young Kobe has an ego, but I honestly don't feel like Kobe was Kobe until Shaq left. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. This is
it fair to say?
Nah, Kobe was eating. Kobe had, before that year, Kobe was averaging 30 in a game. Kobe was Kobe
Wow.
already. In 03-04.
Okay.
Kobe averaged 24 points that
Okay.
year, 5 boards, 5 assists. That's crazy. Pass the ball, Kobe. And
I just feel like he was the Kyrie of that team until Shaq.
Oh yeah,
left.
great number 2 for sure. Yeah. At that point,
So
he was
it's
the
like-
second best guy on the team, and it's cool. But yeah, nah, Kobe was
Yeah.
still Kobeing.
I miss Kobe.
Rest in peace. He's probably
He
like,
wouldn't know what
nigga,
to
I
do
got
right
out
now."
right in time. Fuck that.
He's probably playing ball against God or some shit.
Like,
like he's just
Jesus, you
playing
can't
some
guard me.
entity that's like he's crossed his ankles and shit. I mean, I wish I appreciated his game more when he was alive though.
oh yeah, like I said it before on the main show that I wasn't a Kobe fan growing up because he always whooped my team's ass with a smirk on his
Yeah.
face. So like I didn't appreciate him enough. It's kind of funny being on the wrong side of history. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've lived in New York my entire life. I've been a fan of New York franchises forever. The only good team that's existed for me, for the most part, is the Yankees. Everybody else kind of sucks. The Knicks were good in the 90s and for like a year and a half in the 2010s. So, I'm not really... and the Giants. The Giants won a couple Super Bowls. So, I can't really complain about that either.
Yeah, you got some
But,
some Giants ones in there
Yeah.
in your lifetime. You know what I mean?
We beat the undefeated Patriots, and we beat the Patriots
Mhm.
again 4 years later. Why are you a Jets fan again?
It's a very bad story. It's really
Is it?
frivolous actually. Yeah, the reason why I'm a Jets fan. Before I even watched football seriously, I would play Madden first, right? So I could be any team's fan right now, but this 1 year's Madden, I would always make a running back for my creative player, and I would always end up on the Jets backing up Curtis Martin. Every single time. Every single time.
I forgot about Curtis
Hall of Fame
Martin.
player. He was.
Oh my
I
god.
think it was great. Like, but so I'd always end up on the Jets, being the young guy behind old Curtis Martin. And after that first season, I would get the start, and I was on the Jets with Chad Pennington, Vernius Coles, I think his name was, and this is like right after Santana Moss was popping. Yeah, so I was Santana Moss,
my God.
Kerry Rhodes on defense.
Santana Moss was fire, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro! You just
And like I
just
think
had
it
a
was this
flashback, bro,
Reeves'
that-
rookie year, so I was with rookie Reeves too. So it was always fun being my franchise with the Jets, and that's why I became a Jets fan. I could be a Carolina Panthers fan if I got drafted by that team when I was that young. You know what I mean? Like I just happened to end up on the Jets, and I've been a fan. And then I will turn TV. Oh, I watch TV. Jets on TV now.
bro.
So
you're
now
so-
I'm a
so
Jets fan,
lame.
and
God, I hate you
that's
so
how I became a
much.
Jets fan. Yep, just like that. That's simple. And it's literally a sheer chance that I became a Jets fan.
I have a question. Okay, so I wanted to revisit something that we talked about in episode 2, where we were talking about the Jets and their legacy of quarterbacks.
Really bad.
And I wanted to know, really bad, right? Where would you rank Chad Pennington
Chad
on that
Pennington
list?
gets among Jets fans. Chad Pennington gets too much hate. Chad was an okay guy.
You believe so?
Like,
I thought he was an average quarterback. That's why. It's
now
like,
look at the Jets'
to me,
history.
he wasn't. He was like Andy Dalton. He was like Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton
of like current day.
statistically would probably be the best quarterback in Jets history. I want you to think about that.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be fucking
Alright.
kidding me, bro.
Do your homework real quick. Look up the best quarterback in Jets history. Right, is by name is Joe Namath, right? Look up his stats for his career every single year. They're really bad. He's a Hall of Famer because he called the shot and he was a pretty boy at the right time.
I feel like he was on the Beatles, but
Chad
okay.
Pennington gets way too much hate.
Jets.
He was a solid quarterback, and we haven't had anything close to that in our entire history.
That's what I'm
He was-
saying. Like,
He wasn't
I don't-
great,
I
but he was
didn't like
solid
that.
enough, and he gets a lot of shit for it.
that's what I'm saying. Like, when we were talking about this shit, I was like, I thought about it when I was reviewing it, and I was like, Chad Pennington was
I'm looking at his
pretty
numbers.
decent
Like
for the
there are
Jets,
some
and they
like
went to the
meh
playoffs.
years here, like some decently bad ones, and he got hurt a lot. That's one of the things people hated about him. He got hurt, but he was he was decent at. He had some bad years there in here. I'm looking at him now, but he was pretty solid at worst. You know, what I mean,
he was the starting quarterback for the Jets for 7 years, which is the longest tenure since like what, Testaverde?
Yeah, people love Vinny. That's
So,
like I actually have a Vinny jersey randomly. I don't know where I got it from. Probably from a yard sale.
He spent his last 2 years on the
Yes, he did,
Dolphins.
and good for him because fuck the Jets. They treated me like shit. I'm not mad at him for that at all. People don't like him for that too. I'm not mad for him. Yeah,
For
people
going to the
don't
Dolphins?
because they shat on him. They shadowed him
They
when he was
should've.
here. So he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go there, and they're actually gonna like me." And they did. They went to the playoffs that year.
Yeah,
I was never mad at
that's what I'm
never
saying.
mad at Chad.
He was a pretty solid guy. I'm not a Jets fan, but I always support New York franchises. Like, I'm not that person. Like, I'm a Yankees fan, but I support the Mets. I'm a Giants fan, but I support the Jets. I'm a Knicks fan, but I support the Nets. You
All right.
know the whole
Here,
cycle of it. And
Joe Namath's career numbers. You go like, because I'm telling you,
all right,
Chad Pennington deserves better, historically, right?
yeah,
His career passing percentage is 50.1%. touchdown interception is 170
Wow.
touchdowns and 220 interceptions. Joe
That's
Namath,
that.
Hall of Fame quarterback.
He just threw a bunch
No,
of
he threw
touchdowns. That's
220 picks and 220 picks,
Wow.
173 touchdowns. He threw a bunch of picks. Joe Namath was
Oh,
kind
God.
of trash. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
That is trash.
it's
That's like
really
Mark
bad.
Sanchez
Yeah.
numbers.
But he called.
literally is
He
Mark
called a
Sanchez
shot for
numbers.
that Super Bowl, and he looked cool doing it. So we prop him up a lot. But Joe Namath was not a good quarterback. I don't care what you say.
I feel that. How do you feel about Phil Simms?
I'm not up on him like that. I you know what's funny? I listened to his son, Chris Sims. He has some like podcast stuff like that. Phil come on. He's like a big old country dude. When you hear him talk, and I like Phil Sims the person, and I like Phil Sims the broadcast guy. But Phil Sims, looking at his number, is a better quarterback than Joe Namath. I'll tell you that much.
I would say if it wasn't for Eli, he's probably the best quarterback in Giants franchise history.
I could maybe see it when you hear his numbers. They're not that pretty, but they're better than Joe's. I'll tell you that much. Phil Simms threw for 55% in his career, 55.4%, 199 touchdowns, one short of 200 touchdowns, 257 picks. So
God,
it's not a great
still
ratio.
terrible.
Like, I feel like it would be pretty if you got that one more touchdown in his career, but it didn't happen for him. But you know, Phil's good. Phil's good by me.
I mean, he got the Giants a couple Super
Yep,
Bowl
he has
rings,
2 of them, and he
so-
was MVP in 1. Only 2 Pro Bowls, but that's a little surprising.
Yeah, I mean, but they had like Dan Murray. Well, who was in the NFC? Who was in the NFC that actually was a good quarterback? Because I can only think of AFC.
He stopped playing in
like,
'93.
quarterbacks.
I'm not that much of a historian for football, honestly. I don't know who he was up against at that time.
Who was in the NFC? I don't know. I can only think of AFC, like Dan Marino and
Yeah.
shit. Warren Moon. Fucking damn, I can't think of it. Who the fuck was playing at that time?
Oh, he was getting fucked by Troy
Yeah,
Aikman a
look
lot.
that
That's
shit.
what was happening. It was Troy Aikman was
Troy Aikman?
was doing him dirty. 6 Pro Bowls.
Oh, okay.
But even still, you get like 2.
That makes sense.
You get 2 of them. You get at least 2 quarterbacks in the Pro Bowl. So I don't know who else was out there at the time. I'm not. Hey, competition. If you're a real football historian, comment who was making the Pro Bowls in like the 80s to 90s, early 90s. I
Inform
wasn't
us,
born
please.
yet. I wasn't really watching
Please.
football at that point. But if you know, and you're up on that, and I respect the knowledge, comment it. Tell us we're fucking idiots, and we should like read some history books and watch some like classic football. I'm sure it was great when they were like knocking helmets off and busting teeth and shooting up insulin and smoke cigarettes on the sideline. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure the cortisone shots was fire and everything like that. Concussions didn't even matter. You get fucked up and you get the next play and you keep playing. I'm sure that was when football was football. You could tell me about that in the competition. And call me a young fuck who doesn't know any better. I'll appreciate it.
Tell us the prices on Vicodin too.
I'm sure they vary. But yeah, he was behind Troy.
interesting.
NFC, it was Troy Aikman who was probably giving this headaches on those Pro Bowl votes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
But
I
he
try to
played
remember
from
90s
79.
football, and I feel like
Phil Simms is old, dude. So like that's only like that only explains
Yeah.
like a few years of that. But That's only like 4 years of his career that Troy was in the way. Who was the quarterback for the Cowboys before Troy? I feel like that was when they never had a bad quarterback.
That's actually another segue I want to make is after this the Andy Dalton signing.
Oh, it's
'Cause
weird.
That is. It makes sense though.
If you don't believe in Dak, it does. Which they might not.
A lot of people don't. Andy Dalton is not that much older than him, and even though he is terrible in the playoffs, he is a veteran quarterback that at least can operate in a system. Let's see.
Oh, might have been Randall Cunningham holding them back too. Talking about Phil Sims still in terms of Pro Bowls. But thinking about, I feel like I'll take Dak over Dalton any day. Personally, it's kind of funny. I was arguing with people on Twitter, not really arguing, but like I don't care. I don't really care that much. Because if we look at Dak Prescott's numbers versus Carson Wentz's numbers, they're pretty much the exact same. Right? But
Yeah.
the conventional knowledge and the knowledge that everyone goes to because of groupthink, in my opinion, but I can't tell people that they're all sheep because it's fucking football. It's not that deep.
Wait. Can you clarify for the audience what groupthink is?
Sure. When the masses all kind of converge on one opinion, and everybody supports their own opinion. It's almost like a logical circle jerk of things. That's not really the proper way to explain that. It becomes the common knowledge, and becomes like the conventional wisdom that this one thing that everyone seems to agree on is just fact, and it's just, but it might not be, and if someone comes in and pushes against that, they can be a little ostracized at times, or they can be called an idiot because they just don't agree. And me, I've always kind of been against that, where it's like, if everybody agrees on one thing, doesn't mean that it's true. You know what I mean? Like, for example, everybody could be like, apple pie is the best pie. It's the shit. I might not like apple pie, and I might think, you know what, fucking cherry pie is like fucking fire. It's the best. It's just as good as apple, whatever. But I will be called an idiot for not agreeing with everybody in a groupthink scenario, because my opinion is different, or not better, just different. So what I did was, on Twitter, follow me at Nate is a Dick if you wanted to see the little thread. I was going at it with some football nerds, because that's what sports fans really are at the end of the day, just fucking nerds for a certain thing. And they were all saying Carson Wentz is potentially a top 5 quarterback or a top 10 quarterback or whatever. But then they're like, Dak sucks. I'm like, that's weird. So they got Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz got drafted in the same draft class 4 years ago. Well, probably about 5 years now. And throughout their careers, because they're on rival teams, they get compared a lot. And people will always say, Carson's better. So I looked at the numbers on both of them, and for their careers, they've been eerily similar. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The year that people point to and say that Carson's better because of this year is the year that he actually got injured and played less games. But I kind of detract from that, because I feel like, in terms of sports, being available to play is a skill that should be valued. Because everybody's hurt, everybody's dinged up, and if you take care of your body in a certain way, you don't take certain hits, you'll be able to perform, right? So I kind of ding Carson for that, but people don't for whatever reason. Totally fine. But for their careers, I believe that they've thrown the same amount of touchdowns, and I think Dak has thrown one more interception. It's like 97 or 96 touchdowns for their careers, for each of them, and Dak has thrown about 500 more yards, like 1,500 more yards. and part of that is because Carson's been injured, he hasn't thrown as many yards. But they have been eerily similar quarterbacks, but conventional wisdom says Carson's better. So I would be like, so why is Wentz better than Dak? People be like, he just is better. I'm like, why? Because he's done this, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but Dak's done this and that. And Dak fumbles less. Or, he's safer with the football in this capacity. Yeah, but no, Carson's better. Why? Give me a reason why. And then eventually one guy said to me on Twitter, something along the lines of, from what I've seen in certain years, Carson has the potential to play at a higher level. And I told him the old quote that I got back when I was playing sports and back in the day, and it's still true, holds true now to like today. Potential means you haven't done shit yet. That means you're capable of something. He could potentially be better. He could potentially not be better. I could potentially be a millionaire within the next couple of years. It's not likely, unless I do certain things break my way. But I could potentially do anything. I have yet to do so. So I'm saying you're betting on potential that's not tangible. I'm saying, so I responded, he could potentially be better than Dak any day, but as of right now, in terms of what we've seen productively, they are the same quarterback. They're about the same. And then one guy was like, finally, who's been disagreeing with me for like a good half hour, like a good 2 days of just back and forth tweets between me and like 3-4 good nerds on Twitter. Love you all. Just talking about ball. And they eventually said, you know what? I agree with that statement because he could potentially be better, but he's had to do so. And you guys are betting on potential. He's not a better quarterback than Dak. They're about the same.
Yeah, I would agree with that sentiment because
So I was really going off because like I'm not even a real Cowboys fan like that. I'm not it's just funny because like I think I was fixated because people were talking to me like I'm wrong, but I got numbers on my side and I got rates on my side, and it's like no, but you're wrong, bro. Nah, do you watch football? I'm like, yeah, nigga, I'm talking to you right now, like.
Oh my!
And it's funny. People will challenge your intelligence when you don't agree with them, even if you have things to support it.
Of course, but I have a question actually. Different sport.
Oh, we're on sports.
No, actually, no. Actually, we'll do same sport. So there was like a poll about saying that Drew Brees is better than Aaron Rodgers. And I was trying to figure out like what they necessarily meant for that.
Drew Brees is better.
But in my opinion,
Rodgers?
He's just a better quarterback. And I felt I'll give you my take on it first before you go. But I felt like Rodgers kind of did more with less players, and a lot of people want to make the argument. Yeah, a lot of people want to say like, oh, how many Pro Bowlers did he have besides Michael Thomas, which he actually had only him.
Really, Marcus Colston never got a Pro Bowl?
No,
wow.
I thought that too. Yeah, I thought Jimmy Graham as well.
Yeah,
and like, it was like a whole fucking thing. And everybody's trying to make a thing where they're like, all right, so after he left the Saints, he was trash on the Bears. But I'm saying, like, exactly. Oh my,
Marcus Colston was that dude for a while. Like, people don't understand.
He was.
That is astonishing.
I was shocked.
He never
did.
He just always had really good numbers but didn't make it. Oh, that nigga's probably somewhere tight. Like, he came out. I'm looking at Marcus Colston. I'm gonna give this man his flowers real quick, and then we're gonna keep going with the Drew Brees versus Aaron Rodgers point. Marcus Colston was a 7th round pick, number 252 from Hofstra, right there in New York. 7th round picks don't
Yeah.
come in and do shit on most teams, most likely, right? Not Marcus Colston.
Mm-hmm.
He started that year, had 70 grabs, 1,000 yards, and 8 touchdowns from the 7th round. And then the next year he had 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. He was a beast in that offense. Like Marcus Colston deserved better. He deserved better. Oh my goodness,
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's all right. I said that on this feed or whatever. I was like, yo, I feel like Aaron Rodgers did more with players that were average. He made them look good.
That's what good quarterbacks
Right?
do. Great quarterbacks do.
Exactly. But everybody's trying to say like, oh, it's about Pro Bowlers and Pro Bowlers. I'm like, all right, sure. He had Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson when in his
Jordy
prime,
was cold. I
and
respect Jordy.
people want to say Randall Cobb.
I'll give it to him.
I'll say
Randall Cobb was
decent.
Young Randall Cobb was
solid.
Was pretty solid. Yeah, that's a good word for him. Randall Cobb was
solid.
He's still playing today. He's on the Texans.
Yeah,
now.
but that's that's what I'm saying. Like besides Jordan Nelson, Greg Jennings, and Randall Cobb, who did he really have?
Devontae Adams now is like the number 1 guy, and he's been really good.
Okay.
He's one of the best shooters in the league right now, Devontae Adams. So, but like he took some time to develop too. Like I mean every quarterback, if you look at their team, they're gonna have every quarterback's gonna have a good receiver with them, because someone's gonna catch the ball. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna happen that way. I'm stunned by Marcus Colston never being
Marcus
a Pro
Colston,
Bowler.
yeah, bro.
He's
I
not
thought
like
that
some
too. I was
random
like, are you
dude either.
kidding me?
He was very good.
He
was
good.
Very,
He
was very good.
good.
Like, wow.
Exactly.
Talk about niggas who deserved more. Oh my goodness. Like, wow.
That's a hot take.
That nigga
like,
deserved more.
bro.
Like,
And on top of that, I mean, I wanted to include like Darren Sproles. Was Darren Sproles in
maybe
the
for
Pro
a kick
Bowl at
returning?
all?
Maybe. Not as a running back, but he was always, really good. Darren Sproles.
Yeah, he just retired like
Yeah,
last
good
year
for
or
him.
some shit.
He deserved it.
He deserved it.
No, three Pro Bowls for Darren Sproles. 3 times.
I'm mad.
Pro Bowler for Darren Sproles.
Okay. Yeah, so fuck those guys that said that shit, because it's like, oh, fuck you. I hate people on Facebook that try to talk all this shit about, like, hot takes. It's like, come on. Drew Brees, bro, he plays in a dome half the year. He plays in a dome half
Aaron
the year.
Rodgers plays in much worse elements. I'd say he's always had one of the best arms ever. Not like Mahomes strong, just throw it anywhere in the world, but like he was very strong arm, very accurate with the ball. Yeah, like Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks I think we'll see in our lifetime. He's he's in that tier. And I'm a Drew Brees fan. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Like all time, I'd say Drew Brees is one of my second favorite quarterback to because I love all the offense. Kurt Warner of all time. And they're very similar players too. If you think about it,
that's funny to me.
they're very similar
That's
players
funny
too
to
because
me.
they both played in domes and they both threw all over the fucking place and had all these crazy yards. So I have a type there, but physically I'd have to give it to Rodgers there in terms of like being a physical quarterback, but Drew Brees is far from anything to sneeze at. Right, he's one of the best all time guys. But I think if I were drafting a team and they were both 25 years old, know that they're going to be good quarterbacks, blah blah blah. If I'm drafting my team as an owner, I would pick Aaron Rodgers over Drew Brees. But I love him though.
People trying to belittle.
Yeah,
They're both great
it's like
quarterbacks.
it's like picking your favorite ice cream. You're getting something good. Either way.
I used to think that Aaron Rodgers was overrated, and it's like now
he's rated accurately.
He's very good.
He's rated properly.
He's very good. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just hoping to get a good quarterback that's like that.
For your team. People hate Daniel Jones. He doesn't deserve it. He's shown that in his rookie year. I think he's gonna be solid for the Giants. Honestly, I think he's gonna be okay. Like, yeah, we'll see. He's his second year in the league. He fumbled the ball a lot, but he's pretty.
He probably will be trash.
He had a pretty good year, honestly. If you look at what he did with his team. Like, Daniel Jones was solid, man. You know, I'd take it.
I don't know. I gotta double check that because he won that one game, and then everybody was like, "Yo, he's a great quarterback." All this shit, and then everybody wanted to rant and
then he had a
rave
couple
about
bad
it.
games
Like,
because he's a rookie. That's what happens. He looks like Drew Carey in the face.
he lost like everything else. He does. He does.
Yeah.
Wait, Drew Carey? Oh my God.
Go
I
to
forgot
Wikipedia and
about
look at Daniel Jones. That is Drew Carey.
I don't want to look at Drew Carey right now. That's the worst thing ever.
But no, he was pretty solid for the Giants last year. I think he has a chance. People hated that pick and thought he wasn't shit, but he's alright. He's Eli-ish in the right ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny talking about quarterbacks, and especially great ones like that. Like,
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers played in because without Drew Brees had Sean Payton his whole career, and Sean Payton's like an offensive genius. Aaron Rodgers had Mike McCarthy and niggas who wouldn't draft people and sign free agents. They'd never get.
Well, I mean, it wasn't his whole career. It wasn't his whole career.
Started
Drew
off with the
Brees
Chargers.
was playing for for like a while.
Fucked up his shoulder. The Chargers got
hurt.
Got rid of him, and then he went to the Saints. I know the Drew Brees story.
Yeah.
I know.
What year did he start? Hold on. What year did he start?
Drew Brees he played 4 years with the Chargers actually in 2001. 2001.
God. That's horrible.
4 years with the Chargers, but like I don't know if they was like ass fire.
Drew Brees should honestly have 2 rings by now.
Yeah. Actually, he kind of started to take off with the Chargers. Then he got hurt, and then they stopped fucking with him the same.
Oh, because his shoulder injury was like crazy. It like bent all the way around and shit. It's like that Joe Theismann
really? It was
injury.
that bad?
Yeah, like he had to have reconstructive surgery. He was out for like a year and a half, not throwing anything.
I'm looking at every year they have stats for him. You know, he's played.
Yeah, I know he was doing shit, but I just didn't know how long. 2005, and then he went to NOLA.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely. Yeah, he was putting up numbers.
And then they let him the same. That's the Chargers' fault. They fucked that up. Honestly, they just.
Yeah.
That's on them. They fucked that up.
Really
like,
did.
He was going.
He went from 11. He went from 11 touchdowns in 2003
27 to 7 picks.
27.
They fucked that up. That's their fault.
Bro, he was slinging that dope. It was crazy.
He was letting that shit go.
What the fuck? Oh yeah. Fuck, man. And then his numbers just kept going up. Are you
They
kidding
made a
me?
terrible choice. But
Bro,
in their defense,
there was only 1 year when his numbers fell.
If they stuck with their boy, he would be fine.
and then it just kept going up. Yeah, I know they're bugging, but now he's kind of washed.
Yeah, comparatively,
Compared
but
to
like
before.
he's 41 years old, he's gonna be washed. And
No, actually, no. He's not.
He just got hurt
washed.
this year.
He's not throwing as many
yards.
He's not throwing as many
Because they run the ball
yards.
more now because he's older.
That's it. Yeah, but he still has 24 interceptions.
They
and
fucked that
27
up.
touchdowns.
They fucked.
This was last year. Are you
They
fucking kidding me?
San Diego fucked it up, but they drafted Philip
insane.
Rivers,
That's
and Philip Rivers
insane.
has been going, and he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, I think, maybe, in his own right. Yeah, almost
should
4
be.
touchdowns.
Yeah,
he's a
it'll
Hall
be.
of Famer.
Yeah, and he's going to the Colts now to do the same shit he was doing in San Diego. I feel like it's
He's not
two,
what he
maybe.
do.
He might sign another year.
I guess it depends on how.
You know how it's
it
going for
goes.
Frank Gore? Yeah, because like Frank Gore's probably doing the same shit with his contract. He's doing a year deal, but
That's what
he
he did
might
last
play
year.
again.
He put a 1-year deal with Buffalo, and then he came to New York. Came to lower New York, I should say. So
He should have stayed on Buffalo. That's his best chance to win a ring. He's not winning anything with the Jets.
I don't
He's
think
not.
so either. But hey, fuck it. I'll take him.
I mean, nigga, wait, what was your record last year? You were like
Nah,
5-11.
That was your record.
I didn't even know we were that good. I thought we were 4-12.
New York Jets. We were like 7-9. I think.
Really? No way.
I think we were 7-9.
I lost my Reddit until I figured out the subreddit page. Yo, Reddit is lit, bro. Can we say that Reddit is definitely one of the best apps that actually exists in the
Jets
world?
were 7-9. Yeah, they were. One game below 500.
Wow. 2 games. Well, no. What? 500? Yeah. Man, I didn't know you guys were that good. Honestly, you guys were trash.
Our quarterback got sick. He had mono. We couldn't throw a ball. And then he got mono. And then, like... and then we had these bad backups in, and they kind of sucked. And that fucked our year up. And then when he came back, we were mediocre, I'd say. And then we won some games in a row. And then we got 7-9 record. I'm not like bragging about 7-9.
You guys were not beating the Patriots. You weren't beating the Patriots or the Titans. Or
I'm
the
not saying we were
Texans,
making the playoffs.
Or
I'm not saying we didn't make the playoffs. I'm saying that like I feel like we would have split with the we would have beaten the Bills one more game. And I think our record would have. I think we would have been like 9-7, 10 wins. Honestly, if our quarterback was healthy the entire year.
Maybe. I mean, I haven't seen this guy play, but
He's alright.
he is he better than Geno
Yes,
Smith?
He's better than Geno. And not that Geno apologized. Geno just had terrible luck.
Yeah, I felt for him because everybody was like, he's trash.
And when he was
now,
on the
he's
Giants,
trash.
they
And
didn't
I'm
give
like,
him a chance. That nigga was okay.
I forgot he was on the Giants.
He went to the Giants for like a year, and that's the year that they benched Eli for a little bit and they played Geno. And Geno played decent. They just didn't win that game, but he played well in the game that he lost. And then they was like, "Fuck this dude! They benched him for Geno Smith. Get him the fuck out of here!" And they put Eli back. And they put Eli back in.
It's stupid.
That's history.
I don't like when they again with the media shit. I can't stand the blackballing. It's ridiculous. Give a player a chance to play so that they can execute and shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, our offense was 10.
What the fuck? What are we doing now?
But I'm looking at our offense right now. That was
It's a thing.
really bad. They only scored the Jets only scored 276 points this year. Comparatively, the Patriots scored 420 points.
Wow. The Patriots they have something going for them. I'm a Giants fan. I'm used to them losing and shit. It's okay. Just whatever,
Hopefully
bro.
we get to get these sports in the fall, hopefully. But I'm less and less optimistic, sadly.
Yeah. I just wanted to go to the next game. Can we go to the next game, man? I want to go to the next game.
I heard a report that the NBA season is going to start in like December because they're pushing everything back.
That's gonna be weird. That's like the lockdown. Remember the lockdown happened?
Knicks were good that year.
And then the Knicks were good that year. Every time there's a lockdown, the Knicks are good. Are you kidding me? God, they went to the finals. The other one. Oh, my daughter's up. God. But I
Good luck on the action.
really
If you're gonna miss sports this fall, because people don't want to stay inside, like the video, dislike the video, comment,
like the video.
share with your friends. Please
Subscribe.
We care about you. We want to hear your opinion, and we'll come back in conversation. We'll talk
Yep.
to you.
If not, we'll sacrifice you or something.
Like the American
come down
government,
to
with
that.
people something back into the public. They're sacrificing you to
There we go.
for the sake of the economy. But back to our regularly
Yep.
scheduled discussion.
So what other takes we have? What is going on in the world?
Nothing. They got the corona. Oh. Topic. It's one that we were about to go in on before, but we kind of bit our tongues a bit.
Okay.
Speaking of like West Coast rappers and how they might be deemed as legendary, we were talking about how it's funny hearing artists like Earl Sweatshirt and Tyler the Creator be referred to as like West Coast legends, and how people are like so on them. Now it's crazy because they were weirdos at a point in time, you know, like they weren't viewed in that light.
Yep.
So it's just crazy.
I'm kind of on the same page as you, because it was like, I remember when I discovered Tyler, it was like 2010, 11, and I started hearing his music, and I was like, yo, like I was always looking for like innovative rappers, because I was like sick of the whole Dipset kind of got boring to me. Wayne went to jail and was starting to make shitty music. Drake came out and he was like the biggest artist ever. And looking for an artist besides like Mac Miller and Wiz Khalifa, I was like, who's another dope artist? Like I like, you know, I'm a big fan of Kids in the Hall and the Cool
Right.
Kids and everything. And looking for like that innovative kind of hip hop was hard. And I discovered Tyler, started listening to him, and it was dope hearing something that was different. The first song I ever heard from him was Sandwiches, and I was like, this song is fire. Like I fuck with it. It was hard. Like it was a hard song. I mean, it's stupid, but it's a
different.
dope song.
He's very different. Like,
Yeah, it was very different, and that was what really got me into listening to his stuff. It was just like, this is not like anything I've heard
in
before.
the common, like, he wasn't commonly respected as one of the great artists of his time when he was like coming up and out featuring like that.
Mhm.
But now you hear a West Coast dude or like a West Coast fan talk about, prop up Tyler and Earl as like these real West Coast legends now. And it's so funny because niggas who were like talking about West Coast artists was not talking about them. Y'all talking about like Game, talking about YG. I want to not Yo Gotti, but
like Vince Staples a little bit.
yeah, Vince was still new at that point, but still like Vince is more of that traditional sound. You know,
Oh, like Spider Lock.
I feel like
Yeah.
they would give Tyga more love back then than they would Tyler now. So it's just interesting seeing that tone shift.
It was more mainstream.
I suppose,
mainstream.
yeah, but now that, and it's weird because I wouldn't consider Earl to be a mainstream artist, but he's not held in that light. You know what I mean? He's not respected to that degree.
He's between. I feel like he's in that limbo between being mainstream and being underground, because
Sure.
people know about him, but he's not like he's not like a Kid
feel
Cudi
like-
act where it's like Kid Cudi could
Mhm.
disappear for years, but people still say like, hey, remember he's a day and night guy, so they put him to that light. Like Earl doesn't have that Billboard charting single to make him mainstream, but he's known.
I feel like Earl's become the artist that on that list people say like, yeah, I listened to this album, but you didn't really listen to it. You just know that it's a good name to say, to pull out. Cause yeah, yo, Earl's sound is crazy. I'm like, I like Pop Smoke. I like T Grizzly. I
don't want to hear
like
that basic
I like
nigga
Game.
trope.
And I like Earl Sweat. And I like Earl
Meek
Sweatshirt.
Mill.
I'm like, wait, what? Wait, come on, wait, huh? Earl's album was fire. I'm like, what? You like Earl? You sure? Talking about the same guy. You like Vince? You can like Vince. I would believe if you said you like Vince. I'll be with you if you said you like Vince.
Vince is
It's-
still abstract
but
though, and it's still
You
alternative.
could put Vince on that playlist and I wouldn't bat an eye.
Because he's a Crip nigga, but I'm just
Exactly.
saying like he's a weird taste of music. Because I
He has
remember
weird beats, but
what is
they're
it, Big
cool.
Fish Theory? No, they're dope because he explained it on Breakfast Club. He likes like Europop and shit, and like that's his favorite type of music. And it's like he'll listen to shit that's like the Real McCoys and whatnot. And it's like the real like they made a lot of popular music. You'd probably know the songs
Sounds
if
fair.
you play them, honestly. Yeah, but they came out when we were like kids, like we were like fucking 2-3 years old. But that's the type of music. Like one of my favorite songs from him is 745. It's like a cool little like groovy West Coast kind of
Maybe
beat.
we'll link it in the description. We'll link
Pick
to
your
it.
album like 745. Yeah. But it's a decent song. He's still
But I
alternative.
can still
but,
hear
like,
him on one of those playlists. And
I feel like-
wouldn't feel like crazy. But like for people to reach out and be like,
Of
yeah,
course.
yeah, Earl's last album was fire. Earl sounds like nothing. I still like Earl. I'm still a fan of Earl, but I have to sit down and listen to Earl by himself. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
can't listen to him in a playlist on the playlist
bro,
with other people. That will fuck the party up. I'm sorry, like
Because it's super depressing, but it's like, I loved Feet of Clay. I don't know how Anthony Fantano rated it so badly. Needle drop, you're bugging. But
I didn't
I feel
watch
like
that
Feet of
review,
Clay
but I
was
can
good.
imagine why he didn't like it. He doesn't like.
I don't really get why he didn't like
He
it.
likes Death Grips though.
If he likes, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you like that and you liked Earl's last album, how do you not like Feet of Clay?
It feels a little more of the same-ish.
He said that it was, if he felt like it was incomplete, but I felt like it was perfect for what it was, because like the beats were what they were. If you hate East, I get it. I like the song, and I saw him perform it live on video. It was fire. It's so much better live than
Yeah,
it
there are a
is
few
like
songs
as
I
a
like that.
audio. Yeah, that's how I felt about Tisk Tisk and Cookies. That song was fire, but I felt like it was a little better. Honestly,
My problem with Earl's
I
last few
don't
albums
see.
is just some of the mixing and like not being able to, because Earl is a rapper, but he makes such you can't hear what the fuck he's saying, so it's frustrating.
Bro,
That's part of the experience.
that's
I know,
why
man.
I-
That's what's fun.
Do you see why I make music that way? I love music like that. That's amazing to me. Like I'll be rapping my ass off, but it's like, you know what, fuck it. Like let me just let it be. Like you'll figure out the words or you'll
just
figure out
won't.
the
You gotta
context
just really
of it.
sift through some of the beats, some of the trash a little bit, and kind of get to. You gotta really focus the fuck in.
Yeah, do you just like messy music?
I do like a certain amount of polish on my music. I do, but
Mhm.
it's hard. It's a lot harder for me to listen to a full album of messy music But sometimes if it's got a certain song or two on an album that conveys a certain mood, and you need to have that destructive sound and that force behind it, if you will, or even if you're like more subdued and you're like in like, I would say like maybe not like stupid, but like you're like a little sedated feeling and your like voice is really low when you're sedated. That could be part of the mood of the song, and that can be conveyed through it. Where like maybe like it feels like you might feel like you're underwater a bit, or like maybe you're drowning a little bit, and like maybe your voice is underneath the beat a little bit, and that could be part of the message to it. It's hard for me to listen to a whole album of that, but I can get it on a certain few tracks, and I can understand it if it's a part of the message. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to listen to it the whole album. Like just find it. Gotta look for it. Gotta work for it now. It's a little hard, but like I get it. It's not my preference.
But this is the thing we were talking about before, is that remember we were talking about art, and art is what you interpret.
Yeah.
Music is the same way. I mean, like I get it. Yeah, I get it if you don't get it sonically. Like so, like if I send you something, it's more like get the message. You don't necessarily have to know everything I'm saying because you'll get it eventually.
Try and get the
it's
idea.
Like there's motifs that carry. Yeah, get the idea of it. It's not about like just focus on it. Like for his projects, I feel like it's the same thing because some rap songs is actually probably my favorite Earl album. It's probably my favorite rap album.
Okay.
I love that album as well. I'm here with that, but it's
you can see the vinyl and the artwork of some rap.
There's
I'll let y'all go outside on my Instagram page at Nate again on Instagram.
I don't like shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. I love that album and I love the outro.
Mm-hmm.
The outro is amazing. Wool is one of the hardest songs I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, and
that song is hard as fuck.
Maybe you feel like that album is maybe leading you to the message a little bit more deliberately than his later stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm okay with it. You know, and again, I'm not gonna critique an artist on his art. All I can tell you is if I objectively like it more or less than the previous one, and I can say that I like that album more than I do this one. They are both good for what they're worth, and it is a good artist making the music. But I tend to like enjoy being able to understand what's being said. Like I'm more of a lyrics guy. Like I don't like. It's like if I was listening to rap music, I'm not listening to screamo. I'm listening to like ballads. You know what I mean? I like being able to understand what's being said to me. You know what I mean?
I get that. Do you not like some rap songs?
I don't. If it weren't Earl and I didn't grow up next to this guy, you know what I mean? Like it sort of feels like, you know what I mean? If I didn't grow up with music and I didn't get his progression, if it was like a new artist coming out with that, I probably wouldn't go for it. If it weren't Earl and I didn't grow up next to this guy, you know what I mean? Like it sort of feels like, you know what I mean? If I didn't grow up with music and I didn't get his progression, if it was like a new artist coming out with that, I probably wouldn't go for it. Like it's, you know what I mean? But
it's very lo-fi and experimental.
I appreciate it because it's Earl. If it wasn't Earl, I probably wouldn't be here for it. If I'm being fair.
Does it have an MF Doom feel to you?
No, MF Doom is good. I actually have the MF Doom album. Yeah, I got it.
For you?
Foods.
My old high school dealer used to love MF Doom, and I never really got into him that much, but my favorite song with him is with Earl. And Between Villains is
amazing. About Doom is, I like his voice, but a lot of it can get fucking boring because he has his voice. That's just it's can glaze you over. That's Doom's problem. I can't sit through a Doom album in one sitting. I don't think.
is he has a dusty voice. Honestly,
I can't listen to
that's
Doom
his
all day.
problem.
Doom is really good, really good rapper. You know,
That's how I feel
I
about
just can't
Childish
listen to
Gambino.
him rap all day.